Hello, everyone. Welcome on in. It is Betting Weekly Tennis Live. It's a Tuesday evening. I am Nigel Seeler. Tuesday afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And joining me is one of our tennis handicappers. It's Dustin Fox. First time we've been together, Dustin. Good afternoon.
Good to be with you, Nigel. It's a pleasure, man.
Yeah, I mean, we've spoken a lot, but we've never worked together. So really looking forward to this one today. And it's nice to talk about some in-play tennis. Yesterday, we had we spoke about some random stuff about dogs urinating on tennis courts and people getting shot tennis. We've never had the city being wiped out of electric, have we ever before, as a using live tennis action?
Yeah, not that I've seen. In fact, I've not seen too many sporting events that have had. I mean, there've been like outages in stadiums before, like college football and here in the States, or other events. We remember the Super Bowl one. I think it was 2009. The Ravens and Niners, the power went out in the Super Bowl, but like never in the entire city or a country or countries, because Portugal went out too. Apparently part of south of France as well. So a scary situation there. I can't imagine being there in person, not knowing like what's going on. Is my cell phone working? Where do we go? Like there's no lights on anywhere. That was a pretty scary moment.
The most scary moment, not being able to get on Bet the Rivers app, I would have thought. I think that would have been the most scary moment for me. And then the second most scary moment, I would have had to talk to the wife all night. We've had to have conversation. We wouldn't be able to watch sport or gamble. They had to go back to like 25 years ago. We had to have a conversation with people. We're not accustomed to talk to people anymore, are we, Dustin?
No, we are not. We are not. And I've got young children who are, one's a teenager, the other one's 12, and they don't like to talk to anybody unless it's digitally.
Well, do you know what? We're going to come on to. You are coming in for the live tennis, and we will come on to the live tennis in a minute. I've got a 23-year-old and a 21-year-old. Okay. And I know you're going to say I don't look old enough, Dustin, and I just beat you to that before you said that. But when you get a data, your phone data, and you get a certain amount of calls you can get free, or a certain amount of messages you can get free.
Sure.
My kids make calls, nothing, no calls. Data through the roof. No,
so they don't need phone calls. All they need is unlimited data.
Unlimited data for apps, to WhatsApp, to message, chat, all this kind of stuff. Don't call anybody. So why do we pay these unlimited calls? Anyway, enough about me and your middle-aged problems as being a father of young adults. Anyway, it is live tennis, and we have got a really good game actually going on here at the moment. It's a sort of crucial part of the match. Cerundolo is up against Alexander Zverev, the tournament favourite, the number one seed. Cerundolo has taken the first set. He was the underdog in the match. He's 7-5, and he's now 2-love up. It's been a bit of a hard-fought match in the first set. Went all the way almost to the wire in the first set. But Cerundolo playing really well, and he's just gone. I think he said out. So back on the juice now. So a real crucial part. It's probably best to come on to that, to the in-play place, if less Cerundolo holds the serve or Zverev breaks, and then we can have some talk about the in-play bet. But firstly, congratulations on the call yesterday on the Berrettini match. Called it spot.
Well, I got a little lucky because my partner Mitch Michaels pointed out that Berrettini was a little bit banged up at the end of his last match, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know. He's got that. He was grabbing his back," and I'm like, "Okay, well, most books don't pay out. If there's a retirement." I'm like, "Well, just take Draper to win the first set," and I did. However, it was dicey, Nigel, because he got broke the first game of the set. And I'm like, oh no. So then I doubled down at plus 250 to take him to win the first set. So he comes back and he wins in a breaker, and then Berrettini retires. But I did say on the pod yesterday, like, just take Draper to win the first set, because if there's a retirement, you're not going to win any money on Draper if you'd taken them on the money line, which is about the same number as the first set odds were. In fact, it was a little bit less.
Interesting fact for you. I went to the same school as Draper. There you go.
You did?
Yes, I did. He went to school in Surrey, near Epsom Downs in Surrey, not far from Wimbledon. And he was obviously, I was many years younger than Draper. But no, joking aside, he was at school, and he was he's from there. But he's doing incredible well on the clay court. Obviously, he's a grass court player, really through and through. But he's doing really well. This match here is still 2-0. Cerundolo is still holding up with that break.
Grind of a game there.
This gives you some in-play odds at the moment, and we'll see how we go. So Cerundolo here is just hold on till go 3-0 up here. It's minus $1,000 Cerundolo here. Alexander Zverev is plus 650, 3-0 down in the second set. He's the number one seed, tournament favourite. Spread is 5.5. Currently, it's 5. Total here is 20.5. We've got 15 on the book already. We need Zverev to make a little bit of a comeback to cover that. Anything you see there, 61 different bets available on the Bet Rivers app currently now on this match. What anything you like? It's
give me the live breakup. What's the live money line on Zverev?
Zverev is plus 650.
Plus 650. I don't know, dude. I mean, Cerundolo is playing so well right now. And when he gets in these extended rallies, he's winning them against Zverev. And I don't know. I wouldn't feel good about it. 3-love now in the second set here.
I think it's difficult because I just think, the market expects
you like
Zverev to have some kind of...
have to throw a couple dollars on him now, right?
But I'd be more inclined to bet the over on the games because it's only a 1-set break, and obviously it goes to a tie break. He could lose a set. I think the total games are quite cheap at 20.5, but it's a low line. It's minus 245 and plus 175. So we're going to keep an eye on that one there. Hopefully, Zverev comes back and a bit of a comeback, so we can actually talk about some interesting in-play odds. At the moment, you've joined us at a real bad time, but you haven't joined us. At 1 o'clock Eastern time, Medvedev and Nakashima is going to start very shortly now. Medvedev is minus 305. Nakashima is plus 220. The spread here is 3.5 with Bet Rivers, and the total is 22.5. 48 different markets available on the Bet Rivers website on this match. They've met once before. Medvedev beat him in Indian Wells in 2023, and probably it's going to be similar conditions here today. Very easy win for Medvedev, 6-4, 6-3. He's had a brutal year, absolute brutal year. But the bettors are out in force to bet the Russian today. What do you think about this one?
I just never trust Medvedev on clay. Although he did get me 2 tournaments ago when he played Khachanov. It was your first show with Mitch.
Yeah.
Remember the crazy match?
Yeah.
I had Khachanov in that, and of course Medvedev, comes away with the win. But he's playing a little better on clay. It seems like he's happier on playing on clay. Nakashima is always tricky. I mean, he's just a solid player. I mean, this what is it, minus 275 on the money line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's minus 305 now. I mean, that's I'd
lay the games.
Yeah, 22.5 is the line there. Over minus 117.
The games is what, 4.5 or 3.5?
3.5 there.
I would do that. Is it like minus 120, 130?
It's minus 108 Medvedev giving up the 3.5. Nakashima plus the 3.5 plus.
That's the only bet. I would take Medvedev to win, but I don't like the money line, so I would take the spread because I like the. I wouldn't lay 300.
Yeah, we're going to come back to that as well. Hopefully, at the moment, Zverev is 15-love on his serve. I'll tell you what, the alarming match. The thing about this Zverev match at the moment is the first set. He only dropped 2 points on his serve until he was serving at 5-6 to stay in the set.
Right.
So the pressure's gotten to him. I mean, he should be thriving in this position. He obviously, there's no Sinner. Alcaraz is out. He's number 1 in the world. Up until Munich last week, he's a guy who doesn't really handle the pressure well at all, does he?
No, he does not. He's a choke artist, and frankly, until he wins one of these slams, I can't be told otherwise. Because every time he's in a big spot, he seems to fall short. Yeah, he can win his home tournament, but here we are with an opportunity. You said there's no Alcaraz, there's no Sinner. I mean, Djokovic is out of this. Like, there's no Rafa. You know what I mean? Like, no one's in the way. I mean, all these guys are beatable for a player of his stature. I don't get it because he's so talented. I love his backhand. I love his two-handed backhand. I think it's one of the best on tour. I mean, he's great on clay. I just think he chokes.
Yeah, and he can't. That's the hardest part of the game, isn't it? You're a professional sports star, Dustin. You've played at a high level. Yeah, you've got to have it mentally, and especially in tennis, it's one of those things. Let's have a look at some wagers today. Who's been the lucky winners and who's been the lucky losers? $10,000 on Alex de Minaur live at minus 335 to beat Denis Shapovalov. That was a nice winner. I actually bet Alex de Minaur to win Wimbledon today, 75-1. Not a bad price. Good price, wasn't it?
That's a hell of a price.
That's what Bet Rivers are currently 75-1. Alex de Minaur for Wimbledon.
Bet Rivers has the best futures odds of all I've seen.
Yeah, I think that's about double what I've seen with other books. And de Minaur playing really, really well. I like looking at players who play really, really well on surfaces that they're not considered to be their best surface. So de Minaur doing well on clay. I know it's a quick clay court, but the fact he's doing well shows that his game is right heading into Wimbledon. And we mentioned Berrettini. Obviously, Berrettini is injured, but I bet de Minaur today. Francis Tiafoe at 9,200 on him at minus 152. A Tommy Paul wagers. All these are big winners wages. Bet Rivers must have lost their money today. That's great news. That's great news for the bettors. No, but we've got some more bets coming up. We've got 6,000 on Marta Kostyuk to be against Anastasia Potapova over 21.5 games. I quite like that. It's minus 114. Money on Medvedev and Nakashima under 22.5 games. We've had $2,500 on the under there at -114. We're going to come on for some splits. Money line, 93% of the money in Medvedev and Nakashima is on Medvedev. 83% of the tickets on Medvedev. And over and under, 91% of the money and 94% of the tickets are on under. So the Bet Rivers bettors are suggesting Medvedev is going to win this one easy. Head across to the app now. In play, just about to start. And they think the under, which really goes with you, Dustin. You've gone for the -3.5. It's a similar way of thinking.
That's what I would lay. Just because I think Medvedev, if he's playing well, he gets in those long rallies, like 20 plus shots, right? I mean, those are ones that he wins. Nakashima, I've watched a lot of Nakashima. I like his game, but I just don't know that he's going to be able to survive all those long rallies. So Medvedev can go out there and play all day. He'll stand. You won't even see him on the screen. He'll stand behind the baseline and they'll just. He's a pusher. You know what I mean? And if it serves like above average, he'll be fine.
Yep. Let's have a look at some questions. We've got some questions and some comments in the group. Duarte Silva says a crazy and scary day yesterday here in Portugal. Looked like we're in the Stone Age again. I mean, I just can't get my head around how that must be. No traffic lights working. Do you remember Superman 2, where they pressed the button and they got the kryptonite? You're probably not old enough to remember that, Dustin. But Superman 2, they had people fighting in the streets. All the lights went out. There's Gus Gorman, who was a technology guy, stopped all the. Must have been like Superman 2 then, but there was no Superman to come and save the day. Dean Blake says it's the most open-looking French Open ever, despite the absence. I bet Sinner is fancying his chances. He makes his return next week in Rome, and we'll have that covered here on Betting Weekly Tennis Live and Betting Weekly Game Bet Match.
Hey, by the way, yeah. Sorry to interrupt you, Nigel.
Sure.
Did you see the news that came out like the last hour or so that Max Purcell is suspended for 18 months?
No, I didn't. Probably a similar kind of thing as
for a doping situation, and it's just kind of like not funny, but interesting that Sinner suspended for 3 months and perfectly comes back for Roland Garros. You know what I mean? And I mean, listen, I don't know what's going on with Purcell, but it's interesting that there's a lot of this going on right now. What do you make of it?
Well, I mean, the thing about the Sinner thing that I couldn't understand was how could he arrange his own timeout? How could he speak to the ATP Tour and say, listen, I don't mind taking a bit, but I'm going to take these 3 months off. He comes back for the Italian Open in Rome. I mean, if you've ever been to the Italian Open, if you've ever got a chance to go, it's the most grandest place. And they are the fanatical fans. They're the most fanatical fans in the world. So he goes back to that. Then he goes to the French Open, doesn't miss Wimbledon. And he's missing these tournaments here where he comes in fresh. I mean, we've got so many injuries. How many injuries have we seen, like these players? I mean, I think on the Game Bet Match with Sean Calvert, we've lost 11 outright picks to injuries. So to have 3 months of the season off, if you're world number one, that's no punishment. That's perfect, isn't it?
It's the longest sports season in all professional sports. It's like 11 months, right? I mean, so these guys are grinding all year. He is probably happy that he got the 3 months off. You know what I mean? Like I played football and we had, about 3 months off in summertime there where you're not doing much, but like to only have like a month off, these guys there's no wonder they get injured so frequently. But like, yeah, this is not a punishment for him at all. And very convenient, obviously, to come back for Rome and for French Open and Wimbledon. Like he could win both. I wouldn't be surprised.
He could win both. He could win the Slam. I mean, Carlos Alcaraz is hardly fit at all. I mean, the amount of injuries had for a young player, it's insane. He's holding on to favoritism now for the French Open with Bet Rivers. He's plus 150, Carlos Alcaraz. Sinner is plus 180. Alexander Zverev for plus 650. You could bet that with me all day long if you want to bet that. And Novak Djokovic 11-1. I know he talks the right thing about he wants to win majors. It's all about majors for him. But in the best of 5 sets, and it's going to be hot in Paris. Second week is always extremely hot. I just can't have him his age going that deep. It's a very weak tournament. Holger Rune 15. I mean, something because it's Tsitsipas beaten today 23, Ruud 27, Jack Draper 33, Artel Feast. I mean, if I was given a free bet now with Bet Rivers, I'd have to bet Sinner plus 180. It has to be the bet. I mean, who can stop him? What we've seen so far, nobody. I mean, there's no dominant players right now.
I mean, I like the way Jack Draper's playing. I mean,
Wimbledon, though. When you think Wimbledon,
more Wimbledon, yeah, probably. He's a UK grass guy, that whole thing. But I'm just trying to think of anybody. Casper Ruud's playing well right now. I don't know.
But the nearly man, he's always got to the final, hasn't actually won it. I mean, I just think that
I'm grasping at straws here, Nigel. When you ask me,
well,
that,
I mean, Sinner at plus 180. He could come back and win the Italian Open. There is a good chance that Alcaraz could not play in Rome in a week's time. There's a good chance he couldn't play.
Yeah.
He goes back and wins that. He goes in winning the Italian Open, which is the Italian Open is the slowest court, which is very, very similar. It's like Monte Carlo. It's very, very similar to the conditions they're going to play in Roland Garros. He wins that tournament. He goes into the French Open as minus money, and he gives him the 3 month off punishment. It's farcical. And then obviously got, like you say, Purcell getting 18 months today. It's madness. We got some other thoughts here. An early thought, Davidovich for King now is playing incredibly well. Shame he is mentally shambles because I'd give him a chance at Roland Garros with the right draw. Absolutely, he's playing well. And Alexander Zverev said to him at the court, didn't he, when he came? He
said he's playing the best tennis of his career.
Playing the best of his career, but again, has he got it in the head to win a major? I don't think very much on that. Let's have a look at some more matches a bit later on. Obviously, now we'll give you an update on this tennis at the moment. I mean, it's from a betting point of view. Cerundolo is running away with it in the second set. He's 4-1 up now. Still that break, minus 1250 for the Argentinian, plus 750 for Zverev. 5.5 still the spread, and the total again is still 20.5. And Medvedev lost the first game and he's 40-30, minus 275 if you want to bet Medvedev, and the spread is 2.5 at minus 137 if you want to get with Justin's pick there. We've got some matches later on today as the day goes on. Got some good men's matches, and we've got some good women's matches as well. And we've got a graphic to put up and show you the odds here. So just waiting the graphic to go up. Let's start with the two matches later on the men's draw. We've got Taylor Fritz and Casper Ruud. Casper Ruud is minus 134 now. Taylor Fritz is plus 108. Francis Tiafoe against Matteo Arnaldi is tomorrow, but Taylor Fritz against Casper Ruud, that should be a
sensational
win
match.
It's going to be a good match. It looks a long match. I mean, tiebreak number one total here is 23.5. What are your thoughts on that one, Fritz against Ruud?
I like Ruud. I don't think Fritz is quite ready for a long extended match. I think his fitness is coming along. I was surprised, like the Bonzi match was interesting because I wanted to see Bonzi finish that out because he played well. The injury kind of snuck up on him there, but and that was unfortunate. But no, I would take Casper Ruud. I think his forehand's cooking right now. He's got confidence. He's playing really well on a surface that he plays well on. He's comfortable with. So I would lay the slight juice there and take Casper Ruud. How about you?
I've always been someone to fade Casper, but I've always been someone to fade him even when he was getting to finals of the French Open. I just never saw him as the player and had the game to be the world number 2. It was like he's just so steady, but he's got no real flair. I think if Fritz can beat him on a clay court tournament, it will be here at altitude. That's the only tournament he can win. But at the line,
but wouldn't the altitude scare you a little bit with that Fritz fitness in terms of I mean, I played in altitude in football, and man, it was tough to breathe, man.
The only thing I would say, I mean, the temperature is going to be a lot cooler because it's a night game. So it's the early evening now. So it's 7:15 now in Madrid.
Well, you got to remember it's 1 o'clock here, so I'm thinking it's daytime.
This will
you're in nighttime over there, man.
We're just going to go to bed. You've got me out. You've got me. I'm just about to put my bedtime. No, I reckon that'll be under the lights. It'll be about 8 o'clock. One thing is very windy in Madrid today, so there's been a little bit of wind around altitude. I think it might be quite cooler. And in Europe this time of year, during the day is quite hot, and then in the evening it gets very, very cool. So that will slow it down a bit, though. The conditions will probably slow it down, which might suit Ruud a little bit more than Fritz. So I think that's a little bit of a trouble there. But I like the total. If you look at these matches, they've played their last 2 matches. They played in the US Open. They played in the US Open and in the French Open, both in 2024. Both of them went to 4 sets. And previous to that, they played in the Masters Cup, and it was a tiebreak. There's been 2 tiebreaks in the 2 matches they played. I think first set overs would be where I'd be going. I think 23.5 is a high line on clay. It's usually about a 21, 20.5 sort of game.
Yeah, there's not a lot of breakers on clay, but I mean, I think this could be a 3-setter.
Yeah, I think the game's, but it is a high line with Bet Rivers at 23.5. But tonight, really, mostly a lot of good women's matches on. So there's a few more women's matches. And actually, to be fair, I think the women's tournaments and the women's plays is a lot more interesting now than the men's. I hasten to say, the way that the men's are playing at the moment, I think the women's is much more interesting. We've got 2 matches tonight. One of them is extremely interesting. The other one is, Your friend Sabalenka, she's in action. Do you follow you on Instagram yet, Dustin?
I don't have the follow from her, but I'm telling you, if she didn't have the fancy boyfriend, I think I'd have the follow.
Yeah,
I did. I met the boyfriend too. Very nice gentleman. It was a really cool experience I had in Miami. But no, I'm now a fan for life of Sabalenka. Aryna's, she's amazing. Really, really, just I mean, I was blown away by her. She was so cool in person, man. And I got to hit with her. I got to hit with her. You know what I mean?
That's an incredible experience. I think the one thing about her is, though, you know, I look at her from a betting perspective, and every time I look at her, I think she spends so much time on her Instagram and her social media that how could she concentrate on her tennis game? Now, I try to do a little bit of social media for Because We Win. I am no social media expert. This is not a face for social media. This is a face for pure gambling, sitting in front of the television. And I don't know how she can spend so much time. She's always dancing. She's always out and about. And I think to myself, is she really concentrating on her betting on her stuff? So I'm not quite sure about that. But
I think it's a great point. But I also think for some people, doing other things takes your mind off of the stress of the game. You know, I don't know. I mean, like I knew players, professional players, teammates, whatever, that would, you know, they'd be golfing during the season. They'd be doing other things. You'd be like, yeah, you're really focused. It's like, I don't know. Michael Jordan was golfing during the day of the NBA finals, and he'd go play a game at night. So it's like, it's hard to say when some of the GOATs have done some of those same things, but I understand. I mean, I thought Holger Rune was talking about his new Porsche that Djokovic had, and instead of worrying about the last tournament, you know what I mean? Like,
I think I'm looking at excuses every time she's lost money for me. She's been quite active on social media, and I'm trying to blame that rather than anything else. I'm talking. We all
have those losses, and we stick to little things about people. We're like, you know, I hate that guy because X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? Like he screwed me 100 times or whatever.
If she didn't post that dance that night, she would have won that match for me. But anyway, she's in action tonight. She's a heavy favorite bet. She's -625 to be Peyton Stearns. Peyton Stearns is pretty average on clay court, say the best, but this is a court that she may feel a little bit better on. 5.5 spread, 19.5 total. Anything that took your fancy on that one?
I mean, no. I mean, honestly, like I take unders in Sabalenka matches. It's if she cruises the first set, she usually cruises the second set, and you don't have to like sweat out the games, like the covering the spread. I don't know. And then also, like in case there's a crazy upset, you can still win on an under.
Well, you say that. The last time they met, and the only time they met, was in Indian Wells last year. 34 games there were in a best-of-3 match, 2 tie breaks, and Sabalenka edged it in pretty slow conditions. The next match, I do think, offers the best bet for the night. So if anyone wants to have a bet tonight, I think the Kostyuk Potapova match is one of the best bets of the night. I love the over here, 21.5. I know Bet Rivers reported a decent bet on over.
They both have really good serves, man, which is like, you know, a good well, it's rare for women's tennis, obviously, and it's also rare for clay for women to hold their serve. But you said, I mean, this is a faster court and that whole thing. I like that over too. I do.
I think that's the best bet for this evening. I'll give you some updates on the in-play as well at the moment. Zverev and Cerundolo 5-2 now for Cerundolo. Zverev serving to stay in the match, -2,500 for Cerundolo, total 20.5. It looks like he's going to come in at 21. I think the total here was 7-5, 6-3, probably the most likely outcome. And Zverev 12-1 if you want to bet him to make a comeback. Medvedev and Nakashima going with serve 22.5. Before we leave, Dustin, we'll look at some matches for tomorrow. We've got the men's and the matches. We haven't got a huge amount, but we have 4 matches there for tomorrow's order of play. Tiafoe against Arnaldi, Dimitrov against Diallo, Jack Draper against Tommy Paul, Alex de Minaur against Lorenzo Musetti. What do you like here?
A lot of toss-ups, don't you think, Nigel? Tomorrow, I mean, like Francis is playing really well. Arnaldi is... I've won money on him. I've lost money on him. He's a really good, consistent player. Like, I just think Francis right now is a hot commodity, man. His serve is cooking on the clay right now. Dimitrov, I think he'll take care of Diallo. I mean, I probably won't bet anything there. Maybe take the money line and put that in a parlay. I watched the Tommy Paul match today. I thought he played great against Khachanov. I did. I thought he played, especially that final set, played really well. And I'm not going against Demon. That's your guy. You've been on Demon for a while now.
I've bet him to win Wimbledon. I'm actually opposing him tomorrow. I think Musetti would beat him. I tell you why he beat him, because he beat him in Monte Carlo a couple of weeks ago, and he just grinded him down. De Minaur's a very fast move around the court, but Musetti's a much more natural clay courter. The conditions will suit De Minaur a little bit because it's a quicker court rather than in Monte Carlo. And I thought Musetti was excellent to go against it.
Musetti was great today. Yeah. I mean, I had Tsitsipas to win that in a parlay. That was the only leg that didn't hit, and he was up a break in the first set, and I could have cashed out, but I did not. But the Musetti look, you like the short hair and the cutoff?
No. Listen, this is a man who cannot grow any hair. So when you've got good hair, you want to keep it. You don't want to go like, you don't end up like me. Look at this. You got to see. Look, this is the kind of look that I would love to have. So if you've got good hair,
my hair is outrageously long.
You can't get rid of it. This is outrageously long for me, Dustin. That's the truth. No, you got to keep the hair. I like the long hair. I think
I appreciate it. Yeah, Musetti, he had a nice look going, and then did Nike drop him or something? Because he's with ASICS now, and he's got the cutoff sleeves going. He's trying to bring his aura back. He says so. Unless he's
just had the baby, unless he's fatherhood.
It could be.
Him sort of look a little bit more sensible, cut your hair, have a little bit more formal. You know, he might have got more of a female attraction when he was going around the world with the longer hair. And then Mrs. Musetti said to him, cut that hair. Then we're going to make sure you're all right. It could be that. But I quite like him too. I thought he played really well today. You got to remember, he's a former Wimbledon semi-finalist as well. He's 120 to 1 with Bet Rivers to win Wimbledon. I think that's another big price. Playing exceptionally
well. You gonna throw some coin on him too?
Yeah, 120 to 1, two right. You get little each way, especially when you're getting half the odds to make the final. So 60 to 1 to make the final. I think that's a decent shout as well. There are a couple of women's matches as well. Let's have a look at those women's matches tomorrow. We got the interesting one, obviously. I think you spoke about it yesterday. It's the match between Coco Gauff and
the birthday girl.
Yeah, I thought that's why the lights went out. She blew the candles out. I think that's why yesterday she blew the candles out of her cake and the whole lights went out. Gauff is plus 108, Mirra and Draper minus 132. Iga Swiatek not playing at all well, but I've got a bet on her to win the tournament at plus 350. She was terrible today.
Terrible today.
But she won the first set 6-love and she was terrible, struggled.
I've never seen Iga bagel somebody and then struggled the way she did.
It was unbelievable. Wow. She's minus 315 against Madison Keys, who famously beat her on the way to winning the Australian Open. And if she's going to beat her on any clay court, this is going to be it. 4.5 Madison Keys start.
So that jumps out at me. The 4.5 games jumps out at me is like the instant bet there. So is that a sucker bet? I don't know.
I don't think it is. I mean, I want Iga Swiatek to win it. I wanted to win the tournament because I just thought the market was a little bit too big at plus 350 at the start of the tournament. But you know, they played 6 times, 4-2 as the head-to-head in Iga's favour, which you would expect. Madison Keys obviously did win the last time they played in the Australian Open, and she also beat in Cincinnati. But the way she's playing at the moment, she's giving so many cheap points away, unforced errors that a fully focused Keys in conditions that will suit, I think will test her. I really do. I think that'll be a test there tomorrow. I'll give you some notable wagers for the matches or the money, where the money's going on the Coco Gauff match. This is quite interesting. 80% of the money is on Gauff and 93% of the tickets are on Gauff. Now that's surely got to be sort of patriotic money, American money.
I like Mirra in this one. I like Andreeva.
I mean, Gauff hasn't got to a quarter final this year. I don't think since the beginning of the year. I think she's been awful. 79% of the money on Gauff, 63% of the tickets on Gauff, 94% of money, and 91% of the tickets on over. So everybody wants to be on Coco Gauff to win that match. I'm really surprised by that because she's another one who likes it slower, the quicker for Gauff, the bearish one. It says Mirra will demolish Coco tomorrow, in my opinion. 1.8 is a hand in the teal job. That is minus 125 kind of price there. But his name is Sakari fan, so he's probably not very happy today. Steady Bet says Potapova is injured. He likes Kostyuk in 2. And Harry Doherty said, Dustin, you like Jordan Thompson, the tennis player, Jordan Thompson.
Yeah, you know what? So this is like because I got the mustache going right now. I'm kind of like a cross between Jordan Thompson and Morgan Wallen, the country star.
Yeah.
I'm like a poor man's either one. I don't know. I'm going through like a midlife crisis. I don't know.
No, I'm a cross between Jason Statham. Now, you know,
yes.
And a guy in the UK over here called Phil Mitchell. Now, you
Don't
won't know
know
him, but Google Phil Mitchell,
Okay.
and you put Jason Statham and Phil Mitchell together. That is what you get. You get Nigel Seeley.
Hey, we got a break. We got a break in Medvedev.
Wow,
Medvedev
we're going to break him.
break.
And we've got the match over. The match is over. Number 1 seed Alexander Zverev has let you down again as favourite bettors. Let me down again. Francisco Cerundolo through to the next round. He's beat Zverev straight sets, 2-0. Incredible win for the Argentinian, who's just suddenly becoming a real top-class performer on all surfaces. Medvedev's a breakup. He's minus 670, 425. Dustin told you to bet in minus 3.5 and 2.5. It's minus 4.5 now, and the total is 21.5. I think that's about it. Good luck with your bets. There's going to be a load of action today. Head across to the Bet Rivers app. Make sure you download the app. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. That is the most important thing. If you're enjoying this content, we love all the comments coming in. There's so much content here. Hit the subscribe button. Ring that bell. Betting Weekly live every day, Monday through to Friday. Betting Weekly tennis live Monday through to Wednesday. 1 o'clock Eastern time, 6 o'clock over here in the UK. Also as well, big night of soccer action. It's the Champions League final, quarter semi-final tonight. Arsenal playing Paris Saint-Germain. There'll be a feature there with Will White looking ahead of the game. Give your bets. Make sure you download the app with Bet Rivers. And if you are going to play in play this evening, remember, if you do have a bet on the Bet Rivers app, you'll be able to bet live and watch live with Bet Rivers. Every single one of the bets matches will be streamed live to your tablet, your mobile device. And finally, give us a follow on all our socials at Because We Win. Dustin, been a pleasure. Good luck,
man.
For Medvedev tonight. Good luck for the rest of the tournament. I'm going to ask you one thing before you go. Tomorrow, I think we've got Tim and Rory back tomorrow. Who's going to win the men's singles? Who's your money on to win the men's singles
on this tournament?
Yeah, it's wide open.
It's
wide open.
Musetti.
I hope he's not like Samson, cuts his hair and he loses all his strength. We want to have him
or Ruud. I like.
Yeah,
we'll
it's a wide open tournament. I mean, it's unbelievable. All the seeds are dropping, and Cerundolo's now favourite. Someone's saying there.
What about Menchik?
Yeah, I mean, he's another one. Now there's so many up and coming players, but I tell you what, anyone can win it. Good luck with your bets. Thanks for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place. All the best.